Okay, so I'm using a new tool here. This is Snagit from a company called TechSmith. And TechSmith has been working on screencasting tool for Chromebooks for quite some time. As I'm sure Brian told you, part of the issue with screencasting has been either it requires a download, which Chromebooks cannot do, or the web versions of screencasting tools required Java, which Chromebooks don't do either. But TechSmith has come up with one. This is the one I'm using now, and I'll show you another one called Screencastify. But basically, it's a web app, and again, this is from a Chromebook, so I'm going to go down to my little app launcher here. And all you really need to do, and you can do this from a PC or a Mac as well. I believe usually the app launcher is up here somewhere. But if you click on Store, on the web store, and most of these apps and extensions are free. So if you want to just look for Snagit, and it's TechSmith Snagit, I've already got it installed. You would see, a button similar to this. It says free. You click on it, and then it would install that app in your app launcher. And let me see, I've got a bunch. It'll add it to the list. Mine is right here. And then all you got to do is do a new screen recording. You click on that. It's fairly self-explanatory. You got to play with it a little bit. But that's not the point of why I'm doing this. I just wanted to show you a little bit about the tool. But mainly I wanted to show you how to get into Curriculum Connector. Now I'm back in on the website here, the Tech for New Teachers site. So to go to the maps and assessments, those will be available. Performance Plus overall is sort of the bigger tool that has data and assessments and your curriculum maps. That'll be available directly through eSchool once you have class rosters. We haven't rolled over into the new year yet. So until then, you can click on this link. It says until then, click here to get to Performance Plus. It's the same login. Your first initial, your last name, and the password is Leiden. So I'm just going to click on this. And you can play along. You can type in, try to get in. I'm going to use another teacher's, Julio Lara's login, just so you can see from a teacher's perspective what this looks like. And as you can see, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Basically, your dashboard is up here, and as you scroll around, you can see, here's home. Ultimately, here's where we're going to get some reports on student data and assessments, standards. Your classes will eventually be there. This is where you can actually get in and enter assessments or edit assessments in the system. The content library. There are pre-made tests or questions that can be created into electronic assessments. But I want to focus on here, course maps. This is supposed to look like a little compass rose, like, a map. Very clever. So if you click on that, if I've done everything correctly, and that's debatable, you should see up here in the top right a little pull down that should have the courses that you're going to be teaching this year. So Julio's Modern Languages teacher, he'll be teaching Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. So if I want to click onto Spanish 2 here, it opens it up. Doesn't look like a whole lot there, but if you notice over here it tries to go by the current calendar. We're looking in June. Well, there's not a whole lot there in June because school's out. So if you hit Show All, or you can go to a particular month, it'll send you the particular month. I tend to like Show All a little bit better. Just so you know, every course should have in August this unit, so to speak. I'll scroll down a little bit. This unit is just sort of an overview, kind of an umbrella unit that I want teachers to share or store their semester assessments and just sort of overall. Once you start to get the actual content, for example, this is the first actual unit that'll be taught. And you can tell the teachers have entered. This is the review of some basics taught in Spanish 1. And you can see the basic, we talked about the common instructional language, the columns going across, so standards, big understandings, essential questions, content, instructional outcomes, which are kind of like skills, the content sort of written in noun form. That's the what of the course, and the instructional outcomes are what do you want them to do, and ultimately assessments. Now there's some columns over here that aren't used quite as much, but these are the big ones here: the standards, understandings, essential questions, content, instructional outcomes, and assessments. And for your courses, you should be able to scroll down and get a sense of what your curriculum is all about. I will show you in many courses, and this is something we started last year and I'm going to be encouraging much more this year, is storing your assessments on this curriculum map. And there's a way to do that. I'm not going to go through a tutorial how to really use the tool. That I think that'll come more when you're working with your curriculum teams. But if you notice here, there is a paperclip. All right, that paperclip means kind of like it's an attachment. So if I click on it, it'll have the final, the Spanish 2 final right there, and if I clicked on that, it'll download it. So if you see that for your courses, that's great. I mean, you can see what the final is all about, and that should give you a real good sense of what your course is all about if you don't know already. But you can definitely scroll through, and that hopefully will give you a sense of what you're teaching this year. Obviously, you're going to be talking much more with your department chairs and your team members, but those are some things that you know, this can give you a sense of your curriculum and hopefully start to get you prepared for the coming school year. I'm going to stop this screencast right now, and just so they're not too long, and then I'll pick it up and we'll talk a little bit more about your course syllabi and where you can see other curriculum maps as well.